which will be very exciting. We saw Kaya and Acno sporting that to end off EU top 8 as we get into it now here on Demon Island.
So Lopes is going to be, well, I'm not going to say what he's looking for because honestly, at the end of the day, I haven't seen him play in like 3 years.
Yeah.
But traditionally, you would think the Kaya player is looking for the range game here against the gauntlets and against the boots. He wants to use the downlights as far as he possibly can away from his opponent to be safe. If he goes in with a side light like that, Wess, if he overspaces it, he's able to punish it immediately. Now Wess, he's playing the Teska, specifically the Shell, and Wess is like one of the top boots players in the world. He was one of the first ones to really jump on the weapon and stay with the weapon upon release after it got its like initial nerfs that saw a little bit of loss of power.
Yeah, it's truly like a classic duality matchup in platform fighters where it's like one with a lot of range and one that's rushed down. And you're seeing that there where Lopes was using that bow to try to get some space because it seems like Wess was just in the face of Lopes. Lopes really can't get a break, finally throwing away the bow in favor for the spear now and looking to maybe play some range game, play that poke that spear is going to be so good at doing, and finally does get a whip punish on that side light from Wess, but not quite much more of a connection on that. They're both kind of feeling each other out, I feel like. They're not going for the big reads. They're kind of just going for the 1-2s, catching onto Qs, and that's really important.
Wess trying to push Lopes over the edge. Again, that side air. Okay. See, it's such a quick signature. He actually charged. Did he start charging that before the D-Sig came out from Lopes?
It might have been the craziest read ever.
We have to see, we need to see that in the slow-mo so we can see the timing on everything. The spacing from Wess to get away from both of those down signatures. He got away from the first one and then heavily punished the second one. So Wess is doing great so far. Already has the lead up on Lopes. Tried to read high with the neutral signature. There's the side air, neutral air, GC in light. Nice little three-piece for him, but the landing from Lopes, a three-piece as well, and gets the KO. Evening up the stocks, but there's about maybe 70 to 80 damage on this second stock of Lopes, but not a horrible lead he can't come back from.
Yeah, and as you say that, Lopes getting the big open up with that side light from Spear, but the unarm on Wess is going to send Lopes offstage with the bow. The bow that hasn't been finding as much success, especially in a matchup with the boots, as the boots catch, and I like that. Goes for the nair, immediately realizes, okay, a dodge is incoming, goes for another nair, gets the recovery, just more and more damage is racking up in the favor of Wess, because eventually those confirms will KO, and that's exactly what's going to happen for Wess, who is slowly building this lead. Lopes kind of needs to come into their own here.
Yeah, he needs to figure something out how to deal with these boots. I'm wondering how many boots he has come up against in his practicing for this tournament, because if you haven't been playing Wess, I don't really know how many options you've had. I don't know if he's been like a demon in the ranked queue to where he's seen it there, but really like Wess is one of the main boots representatives. So you don't have customs time against him and a very, well, at least relatively speaking, in terms of a new weapon. This could be a really difficult matchup inexperience for Lopes.
And I mean, you know, we're saying Wess is gauntlets, but I feel like so far the driver's seat is definitely in the feet, I guess, of boots.
Absolutely.
And it's all boots, and it's working out so well, especially against the bow. Nice catch with the Sig there, and that's going to be Lopes, bringing it down to a last stock situation. Don't count Lopes out. That's a dangerous thing to do as the spear comes online now, and Wess is struggling to get a weapon even, just stuck in this corner right now and covering the weapon so effectively. Immediately switches over to the bow, gets the neutral light, and gets a little bit of a weapon toss combo as well. Wess finally getting some room to breathe with that nair to send away. Back on the boots that have been paying the bills here so far as we get a little bit of an open up. Big feints that are going to go off stage and catches.
Turning it around.
The dodge in. Beautiful stuff from Wess. Lopes, no options. Nice, yeah.
Weapon toss, keeping him safe on the landing. You saw he was in sweat beats. He was too high to get hit by that signature. Weapon spawn coming in. Lopes going for the side light. Instant punish by Wess. The in light sending him over to the edge. Wess chasing him high in the air. Didn't know if he wanted to go for a recovery or a side air. There's the down air. Catches the bounce pass. Recovery off the top. Wess takes game 1.
That was really clean stuff, especially chasing off there. Let's see. Oh, no. It was after the charge happened. Yeah.
It was like right after. That was pure gamer reaction. Capital G, capital R.
Yeah, I really like the feint on the right side of the stage as well, where Wess knows I could go for a recovery to end the game here, but it's so scary versus Lopes. I mean, literally, if you whiff that recovery and you get hit with a gravity cancel downlight, it's over. And it's really, really shows the discipline of Wess to not only hunt for those KOs, but also realize I need to respect Lopes and their ability to reversal me here. And it's exactly that, like saying, kind of, I like to call it investing in yourself, where it's like instead of going and trying to end it, I'll say, you know what, I can just hold on and I'll close out the game.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. Now, Wess coming out victorious there is big for several reasons. Obviously, Lopes has so much gravity and weight behind his name in the South American and really global scene, but it feels like for a while now, people, you know, kind of myself included, have forgotten about poor little old Wess, especially when he's not involved in 2v2s. it's like kinda has come up in the scene. Lores has come up in the scene. Fiend, of course, is still a demon in the scene and will always have so much weight attached to his name. But kind of Wess is in that spot where he's not guaranteed top 3 every tournament. So people sometimes tend to forget about him. And he's showing us right here against Lopes. Double back-to-back signatures, KO, and he's not even red. We're not even 40 seconds into this game.
So smart because you're expecting, okay, they're facing towards the left. They're going to put a hitbox to the left. They go for a ground pound or a down air, but uses the turnaround gravity cancel sig, and it covers the wall perfectly. Little mix-ups like that are absolutely crucial in finding KOs, and Lopes is not stopping no matter what, still continuing to sing, having no options, and finally the whiff punish does come through for Lopes, which is it's a lot closer than game number 1 so far, but Wess has been playing amazing, and we're seeing the gauntlets come online as well.
It was really scary there for a moment where it looked like Wess was going to send Lopes into the blast zone over on the left side on his second stock without Lopes taking the first stock. Then all of a sudden it kind of got back a little bit less in Wess's favor, but then just like that, Wess is, I'm going to say it, he's dumpstering Lopes right now with the gauntlets in his hands, with the boots on his feet. It doesn't matter what he has. He is bringing it to Lopes.
Yeah, I mean, seeing the increase of the wall size compared to Demon Island, I think it's easy for boots to kind of miss a lot of those recoveries that try to land deep on the wall. But with the gauntlets, I mean, it covers it perfectly, and that's exactly what Wess is doing. And it is absolutely amazing to see the mastery of not only the boots, because we're talking about it, but also the gauntlets. But as I say that, the boots doing a lot so far here, stuck on the left side. Now Lopes gets a big reversal and has the stage to Wess as Wess tries to get out. The sick catch is not enough to KO quite yet. Chases offstage with a side air, but the nair comes out from Wess and actually reversals the situation. And it feels like every moment where Lopes drops those combos or drops the KO opportunities, Wess is ready to immediately whiff punish.
Absolutely. Every single time he's been so good on that. He's great with his initiations. He's great with his punishes. He's great with his string follow-up. He's great with his signature usage. See if he can recover back to the stage. Oh, he still picks that up. And the second one the other direction. Stuck over on the wall and the ground pound. PJ, this is the guy who got 49th at BCX, dude.
This is crazy.
He barely got top 50, and he is making Lopes look about as good as me right now.
It is. Wess is on a tear. I mean, so smart there, too. You're expecting something maybe like a nair, but instead going for the side air, pushes them closer to the stage as well, and then, yeah, just tapping it in here. Beautiful stuff from Wess. Oh, my goodness. I think so far today, seeing the best flowchart of edge guarding so far. I mean, the double sig to close out that first stock and then the last stock being taken by the boots. I mean, it's crazy.
Wess is showing something different here.
Yeah.
I doubt very few people expected this performance from Wess. I wonder how many people in the region expected this from Wess. Maybe Wess was the only person who expected this, and we're seeing a legend swap. This is more of what I expected based off of what Left Stick told me after he talked to Lopes right around the time of his unbanning when he was figuring out what legends Lopes was going to be playing. Queen Nai was one of them, a rare legend that we rarely see, but a classic for Lopes.
Yeah, Queen Nai being, you know, the spear and the katars, two weapons that have found a lot of success in the EU bracket. So it's cool to see that kind of come together here in the Queen Nai. Queen Nai's high defense, correct?
Yes, yeah, extremely high defense, very high force as well. Things start getting a little bit nasty when we look at the D-Light. Insig coming out, Insig just raw, especially the D-Sig as well. Yeah. Talking about the spacing game that Lopes might have wanted to play on Bo, he has that with the Spear down Sig as well. He's doing a much better job this game. The damage lead is certainly in his favor. There's a weapon spawn on the field, but he chooses just to stick with the Spear so far.
Again, having a lot of the control here, and maybe it might be the confidence of I'm higher defense on this legend, so it's going to give me more time, but it doesn't even seem like the high defense is doing anything because Lopes isn't getting hit by anything. Yeah,
he's not like dark red and surviving just by the skin of his teeth because he has just enough defense to stay out of the blast zone. Like, no, he's only halfway through this first stock. Wess has the gauntlets in his hands.
Nice, goes immediately for the recovery there. Lopes able to dodge through it, but a big pickup from Wess. Going for a lot of these sig reads to try to catch these dodges in, but not working out so far on Lopes's Queen Nai. It's successful pick so far, but that side air is going to be able to KO Lopes, and now we get into 2 stocks apiece.
Wess still doing a great job here. He only has about maybe 50 to 60 damage on this stock. He's not even close to orange just yet. I take that back. I forgot we're dealing with Queen Nai. Oh, and the nice three-piece from Lopes. You saw he waited. He didn't immediately go back for the other direction on the half pipe. He waited to get the dodge so he could go for more damage. He's starting to eat some boots hits here, but you're starting to also see the signatures come out because you know Lopes has KO damage on Wess. He's looking to end this stock. Neutral stick comes out the wrong way.
Going to be a big whip punish opportunity for Wess now back on the boots, but a side light tries to go for a recovery to cover the dodge in place, but doesn't find it, and that's the down light into the side air. That's going to be Wess closing out the stock there, which, I mean, it looked all Lopes so far, but you go off stage once versus Wess like that, and the gauntlet, or the boot star, are going to be able to close it out.
Same thing's true, though. He just happened to have the boots on his feet. If you went off stage against the gauntlets as well, yeah. I don't think the result would have been that much different.
Yeah.
Oh, man, you're seeing just the dashes back and forth, the spacing game that Wess is playing. He's doing such a good job on its side air. Even though it kind of dragged along the stage, took away some of that momentum again. That's the high damage and the high strength that Lopes has on this Queen Nai. Okay, Wess, see if he can get through this and pick up the weapon. Okay, Lopes doing a good job of weapon starving. That's not traditionally a thing that South Americans really focus on because, like, Fiend was the one who inspired everybody to, like, feel comfortable being unarmed. He was the one who taught everybody and inspired everyone to understand the unarmed kit better than the other regions.
Lopes immediately starting off there. Going for a lot more reads on the Katars is what I'm noticing. Not going for a lot of the 2 confirms. I think we both ducked there to avoid that SIG because we all know what was coming, and Lopes, by the skin of their teeth, able to avoid that one. Another SIG comes through, gets whip punished by the side light, but it doesn't fully connect into the down light. The neutral light gets punished, and nice down air from Lopes to disrupt that SIG. The SIGs are coming through. It's not connecting.
If that signature from Wess was the other direction, I honestly don't know who would have gotten priority there. Probably Lopes, but I don't know if it came out early enough that you would have gotten into that little dead zone in between the hitboxes and Lopes's hurt box. This game's starting to wind down. Lopes needs to find a KO here if he has any hope of keeping his winner's bracket stock alive. Oh, just barely! He KOs with the recovery, keeping himself in this one. 608 damage. That's a lot, PJ, and you're on a high strength legend with, especially when you have the spear in your hand, consistent setups and consistent KO options.
I was going to say that I don't think we saw a lot of Katars, but it seems like we did see a lot of Katars, and I think 2 of the stocks being closed out by that combo specifically, the neutral light into the immediate recovery. I'm not sure if that's true, but I do know that's something that can definitely catch you if you're off guard.
Yeah, it is not true.
It is not true, but yeah. Okay. I mean, it's so scary to dodge away and in versus Katars, a weapon that's so good at calling those out and putting you in the half pipe, but instead Lopes is just like, I'll just go for the recovery there and catch you. Big ground pound for Wess now. The edge guard sequence starts, but so far Lopes getting a lot of mileage off of the up weapon toss to give a hitbox out so that Wess can line up an easy spike.
So Lopes is definitely starting to adapt to Wess's boots and gauntlets and doing a much better job of contesting him in neutral, but the edge still 100% belongs to Wess. If you're off stage, you need to disengage as much as you possibly can, as quick as you possibly can, and as safely as you possibly can, because likely it's going to spell doomsday for Lopes if he stays out there much longer. Bouncing off the stage, not quite enough. That high defense just barely holding on, getting high enough to get away from the recovery.
That's big for Lopes here, utilizing all the high defense.
He was going for the in sig. That's such a slow signature. If he would have gone for the down sig, that I actually don't know if it would have KO'd.
Was holding on to this corner pressure from Lopes, and they both dash between each other, and none of them able to find a realistic connection. As you were saying, being comfortable on the unarmed, Wess actually forfeiting their weapon here, looking to switch. Lopes with the weapon starving once again, and now kind of a rough spot to be in. This is where Queen Nai definitely kind of kicks into gear, the high defense legend that she is.
Recovery does take off the top, but in all of that time that it took Wess to add up all that damage so he could find that KO move, Wess was put very much into the red. So if Lopes is able to, like, take things back in control, find the KO option he needs, stay away from the edge, but hit that down air, he's brought it back to almost even. 40 to 50 damage on Lopes' second stock. That's definitely not anything that he can't come back from whatsoever, especially with a few Qatar openings. But Wess, his signature punish has been so strong.
Yeah, and Wess, like, really showing, like, you need to respect me when you're off stage, because Wess is going for covering all of the immediate panic options that a lot of players will fall into. And Lopes, fortunately, has been finding a lot of success going high, but once Wess starts catching onto that and punishing accordingly, it becomes very, very scary to get off this wall here for Lopes. And another very similar situation, as I said, covering the high recovery with the up toss, and that's going to be a big opportunity. Wess dropping the down light, but it still gets punished. The attempt to get back to center where you think you're safe, but that Sig's going to be able to catch you and send you out into the left bot zone.
Lopes spawning back in on final stock. That weapon spawn does go to the top soft platform, so he's able to pick up the spear. Hoping for a little bit of juggle game here. Even if it's vertically downward, he has Wess in KO damage. Again, these signatures are just not really working for Lopes so far. They're scary. They're certainly threatening. There's the D-Sig that we wanted to see earlier. Such a strong signature to hit on a grounded opponent, and it's much quicker than the neutral signature that brings you up into the air, and then you spread your wings like a beautiful bird.
Yeah, exactly, and especially good there when Wess had, was running out of resources and, tried to play the mix-up of landing back in the corner, but Queen Nai does not care about that mix-up, especially with the Katars and those Sigs. Barely able to avoid that signature with the air dodge. That's going to be a big relief for Lopes. The Katars come back online versus the Boots. And yeah, Wess is like really confidently playing in the corner so far, like not forcing it and trying to get back in the center at all times. Wess is like, I'm willing to let you try to push the issue, and it works.
Peach.
Yeah, yeah.
Peach, I got weak knees, brother. I got weak knees after that one. Wess just took out Lopes, and it seemed like he was barely even breaking a sweat, because you saw the Chell on screen. Yeah. She's sleeping. She's literally snoring. Bubbles are coming out of her.